You're listening to She's the Business podcast. Now, ladies, one of the things that I know pretty much every single one of us struggles with or has struggled with at some point in our business journey is pricing. And around pricing, actually pricing at a level that is of the value or of the worth of what it is that we're actually offering, and not underselling ourselves, undercutting ourselves, and feeling like we've got to start right at the bottom because we need to reach some level of expertness, some level of experience, whatever it is that we've made up in our own heads before we're ready to have a premium offering. Now, this may be news to you, but there is no actual level that you need to reach before you can start creating premium offers. You've got a lot of experience, and in today's episode, I want to uncover what this is all about, what it is that you need to have so that you can sell a premium service, even if you're new to business, even if you're feeling like you need to get some credits on the board, you need to get some runs there, some social proof, something out there to show that you can do it. I'm going to address all of that in today's episode, so please stay tuned. It's coming right up. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Osborne, and in my 23 years of business and marketing, I've built many brands to become multi-billion-dollar companies. And just in the last 10 years, I've built 2 online businesses of my own from my dining room table with 2 little babies running around at my feet. I've made it my mission to inspire you to get out of your own way and become the successful business owner who's living the lifestyle you really desire without all the hustle. This is She's the Business podcast, made by women for women. This is your weekly dose of motivation and inspiration. Hello, how are you today? I am here to have a real chat about what it means to sell a premium service and how you can be selling premium services too, even if you feel that you're not ready or you can't, or maybe you're in a competitive market. All of these perceived restrictions that might be preventing you right now from offering something that you would see as a premium service, but yet you know that that's what you want to do. And look, I think that there's one major difference between people that I would call they're stuck in the freelancer zone and those people who are in the business ownership zone that are growing, that have a profitable business, that's not taking up all of their time, and they're not, working long nights, weekends, and competing on price. It is those who have figured out how to sell premium services. So this is probably the number one thing that I really am passionate about, especially helping women do, because so often we come into our business, we are thinking, well, I just need clients, I just need to start making money. And once I'm making money, then I'll figure out how to scale and how to be more profitable. But it's like, you think I need to set a small goal first, a small milestone just to get to that first stage. But this is the thing, is when you start a business and you're just looking at that, that very first step, that first milestone, baby steps, of course you don't want to try to take the entire leap in one go. But if you don't have your eyes on that end goal, if you're not reverse engineering it backwards, then you very quickly get stuck in this place I call the freelancer zone. And that's where you're hiring out your services. You're basically an employee for many bosses. You're competing on price or using price and low cost as a differentiator, as a way to win business. And really, you're often relying on referrals from the network to bring you clients because people aren't finding you. They're not seeking you out. They're not discovering you and lining up to work with you. So if any of that is happening, then, you're likely in what I call a freelancer zone. And that's okay. That can be a great place to have got to. And that self-awareness that you're there means fantastic. That means that you know what it is that you need to change in order to take yourself to that next level in your business, to actually get out of the freelancer zone and get into the business ownership space. Now, what is this difference? What are the people who are in the business space versus the freelancer employee kind of space where you're really the employee of your business. You're probably wearing all the hats, doing all the tasks, working from a to-do list every day. What's the big difference between these two types of business? Or they can be the same business. They could both be doing exactly the same thing, but one is operating as a freelancer and one is operating as a business owner. Now, there's one major difference that I see. And yes, I've already mentioned about being able to offer a premium service, but the thing is, to successfully sell premium services easily without using any kind of crazy marketing tricks or tactics that you might see some of the, what I would call people who are lacking integrity out there in the world. And yes, there are some of those. But if you want to genuinely sell premium services that you're giving your top value, your absolute skills, your expertise, that gold to your clients, it's all about having authority. So it's authority. That's the difference between the freelancer and the respected business owner. The respected authority is what I call, when I'm talking to my Business Jam clients, I'm like, the pinnacle of your business is when you are the respected authority in your space. Now, you don't have to be the only authority, but you just have to be perceived as an authority in your space in order to be sought out, in order to be discovered, in order to be, the one that people want to work with, the one that they think this is a no-brainer. And of course, those prospects are more than happy to pay premium rates and to take premium services from you because they expect it. They actually probably wouldn't buy if you were offering something that was too low in value, too low in cost, because they wouldn't trust it. Now, what do I mean by authority? And I think that as soon as I say that word, I can hear people saying, oh, that means I've got to become famous, or I've got to get out there and I've got to make a name for myself and I've got to be all these things that doesn't feel right to me. And I completely understand what that is like, because as a marketer, I spent my entire professional career behind the scenes. I was the person nobody ever saw or heard except for the staff, because I ran the marketing department. We were the ones who were putting out everything in the voice and the brand of the business. We weren't the people who are client facing and out in front of the world. So I know what that feels like when we're in our own business and suddenly you're offering services, you're a service-based business. And guess what? Even if your brand isn't your name, you're still a personal brand business because people are buying you. They're buying your service. They're buying your expertise. They're buying all of that experience that you've got, which means that it is a personal brand business. And that's why authority is the one key difference between those who are kind of stuck in the freelancer zone, who are really scrapping around for work and projects and competing on price and struggling to have clients find them, versus the ones who are a magnet for the clients. The clients are finding them, seeking them out, coming to them and expecting to be paying premium rates, and very happy to be as well, because they can see and know that you're exactly the right person for them. They believe in you, they can see your value, and they know that that's there for them. So what is authority? What does that really mean? And I just touched on the fact that no, it doesn't mean you have to get famous. It doesn't mean that you've got to start a YouTube channel and become the next YouTube queen. It's not that at all. What it is, and really, really simply, is getting specific. You need to get super specific about what it is that you do, who you are, and who you're there for, which really means it's your niche. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about what a niche really is. The niche is the place that you're playing in the market. So it's that combination of what you're doing and who you're serving. And the two of them combined create your niche. I like to add in my own personal, I'll call it the icing on the cake. Really, when we get to that niche definition, my method has a third element that we mix into those two. And that is the why you, the differentiator, because that really creates you into a space of your own. And that is the thing that gives you authority, true authority. I think a lot of people can define a niche, but can still lack authority. So this is where we take you to that next level where you have the authority. And you can have authority in your first months, first year in business. You can have that. You can have it right from the beginning. It's actually about getting clear and specific, and then having the messaging that's communicating that authority, so that people who find you and can see straight away, they can select that they're the right fit for you. They can select that you know what they need. You're the person that they need and what needs to happen. So that's the major difference. And once you've got that authority in place, creating and selling a premium service is so much easier. It's actually not as hard as you think at all. I went from charging things around the $200 mark when I first started to charging $2,000 literally in one step, because I figured out finally what it was that I needed to create that authority, how I needed to communicate, what I needed to communicate really simply, so that my authority was clear. People could see what it was that I do and how I could help them. And as soon as that's clear and they really understand it, without needing to think about it, without it being hard, without them having to join the dots. You can't leave it up to somebody else to join those dots. You need to join them for them, so that it's an absolutely cannot be misinterpreted or misperceived, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. And so can you just think of how different that is from somebody rocking up to your website and, if you're talking about the solution that you offer and you're just straight to it, like, oh, I've got this thing, here it is. And this is all of the stuff that you get with it. And here's the price. And they're sitting there thinking, oh, okay, well, hold on. First, I need to figure out, is this actually right for me? And are you the right person? Do you really understand my business? Will this work for my business? Will this work for me? Because we all think that we're special unicorns. Even if you might just sit there and think, no, actually, I don't think I'm a unicorn. I don't think I'm special. You'd still, I guarantee, if you think about this and really kind of take this away and just observe yourself, observe how you feel and think about things when you're looking at them, when you're trying to decide. You often think that you've got a bit of a different situation, that, this may not be quite right for you because of these reasons. Well, I'm not the same as everyone else that they're talking to because of this. It's amazing when you start realizing how often you're doing that. And you're doing that with almost everything. You're doing that all the time. You're thinking, no, it may not work for me because I've got something that's a little bit different. And your clients are doing that all the time. So even if they're looking at what you're offering, thinking, yes, that's what I was looking for, that's kind of in my price range, they're still thinking, but is this right for me? And the reason why having authority is so important now is because there's so much choice. We're in this place where there's an abundance of choice. And that means that we're seeking out the perfect fit. We're seeking out the exact right one, the one that feels 100% aligned. And if there's any doubt, then people are not pushing by. They're not reaching out. That's why, often you'll probably be finding, I'm sure, like most of my clients say, as soon as I get someone on the phone and we can have a chat, the sales are easy. But the struggle is actually getting that person to get on the phone in the first place, to actually have the conversation. And that's because they're not perceiving, they're not being able to make that decision whether you're the right one for them or not, because you're not specific enough. And because you're not specific, you're not showing up as that one with authority. And if somebody else is, then they're the one who people are going to. The person who's specific automatically has authority. And that's why I talk about niche so much. I love it. I talk about niche. Niche means specific. Can't even get my words out. It means specificity. That's what your niche is. It's being specific. It's not small. It's not restrictive. It's not anything like that, but it's being actually crystal clear and stopping using these broad, fluffy words, terms that you think are communicating what you're envisaging. But to everybody else, it's like, well, I'm not really sure. That's sounding a bit like a, mixed vegetable soup. I'm not really sure what vegetables are in there. Well, if you're much clearer and you're saying, this is a pea and ham soup, I know exactly what's in it. It's pea and ham. But if you're just like, oh, it's a lovely vegetable soup, I've got no idea. You might know what's in it, but I don't. And that's the real difference. So niching means getting specific. When you have a niche and you're specific, you have authority. And it's about getting to that place. When you use a method like I have with my niche methodology, you get the third element that most people aren't using, which is the differentiator. And that's the real thing that sets you apart from everybody else. Because if you're out there saying the same things as other people, then you might be being specific, but you still won't have authority. So we need to add in that third element, which is why that's what I use. It's why it's in there. It's why it works as well. And it's so funny because I was recording a podcast episode with one of my clients yesterday, and she said to me, we were reflecting on what she went through when she was working with me on her business and how she struggled so much with the niching part. And she said, she's laughing about how patient I was with her, because we really had to keep on peeling back the layers and keep on addressing the fears that were coming up for her around getting specific, around she thinking that she's losing out on so many people. But she did it. Thank goodness. She got really clear. She started small and specific. And she just said to me, it is the best thing that she's ever done, because she had instant authority. She had instant authority. It was really clear who she was there to serve and why and how. And people were absolutely drawn to her because they could see, you're the one who can help me. You're the one who understands. You're the one who is 100% has walked in my shoes. You're on the path and you're ahead of me, and I want to work with you. So she got clients the very first thing that she put out there to sell. She sold a course, she sold a mastermind, and it was all because she got the authority from getting specific through my niche method, and it's just magical when you see it working, when you see it in action, and it's so simple, yet so many people resist it fiercely. And I work with my clients through this. We have, I won't say battles. We work together, and I am tough and I push people and I help you get through the barriers. But it's so important to get that clear, because when you do, gosh, your business is so much easier. And don't you want that? Don't you just want the right clients showing up? Don't you want them already wanting to work with you because they know that you're the right one for them? And that's what's possible when you do get clear. So the topic that I put for this live was about selling your premium service. And that is the one thing that sets apart those who are still charging low prices and feeling they need to because they're competing on price. It's because they don't have authority. So as soon as you create that authority and you're clear, specific, you can easily create and sell premium services. That is the simple bit. That takes way less effort than the initial piece of that getting really specific and clear. And that's why that's one of the key things that I work on with all of my clients, whether they come to me and they've been in business 20 years or if they're starting out and they're just in their first year. That's what we work on, because everything else builds from it. You build your services from it. You build your marketing plan from it. Your sales, everything comes back to that place that you are, where it is that you're in the market, what you're doing, the person that you're serving. You design it all to be the right fit for them. So you can't do that unless you're clear and specific on who that right fit is. And it's not just about the who, as I said before, it's also the what and the why you. And that's my niche method that I work people through. There's 3 elements that we combine together. I do this because it's like a Venn diagram. You imagine the 3 circles and that little bit in the middle. That's your sweet spot that you get when you combine all 3. And that's when, boom, it's like the light bulb's gone on, the curtains are pulled back, and suddenly everything is clear, easy, and so much easier. And it's really that simple. So that's what I wanted to bring with it for you today. Obviously, if you want to work on your niche and you want to do that now, you want to dip your toes in, I do have a niche program, a mini course, we'll call it Know Your Niche, where you can get my niche method. So you can jump onto my website and find it there, or go to jessicaosborne.com/niche. And you can find that mini course, which you can get into today, have it done in the next 24 hours. It may take you a little bit longer than that because you want to peel back all the layers. So, be ready to do some deep thinking and do some self-discovery to find your sweet spot. And the rewards are so worth it. And have a great rest of your day. That's it from me today. Love to chat, and I will be online again. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining me. Bye, guys. Do you know what the number one challenge reported by the women joining my Facebook community, My Tribe, said that they were struggling with their marketing in 2021, and in fact, even in 2020 as well? And that was exactly how they should reach their ideal client. How do they even get in front of them in order to build their audience in the first place? That was it. And it wasn't a pick and mix. I didn't give them that answer. It was a free text question. So they could write in there anything they wanted at all. And the number of times that I saw somebody say, how to create awareness, how to get in front of my ideal client and build my audience. So many people just challenged by it. And why is that when there's such an abundance of ways that we can get in front of the ideal client? And I think it's probably that is exactly it. It's so overwhelming, isn't it? What should you do? What should you choose? What are the best ways? Whatever it is that you're doing right now might not be working. And I think it's a great time to sit back, reflect, and figure out what's the right way for you to do it. What are the ways that you're going to reach your prospective clients in 2022? So if that sounds like you, if that might have been what you wrote down in the questions on what is your biggest challenge with your marketing currently, then you're going to absolutely love the new freebie that I've just put together for you. It's called 12 Brilliant Ways to Reach Your Ideal Client. And in it, I share with you the 12, in my view, 12 top ways that you could use in your marketing plan this year to reach a bigger, broader audience in order to attract those ideal clients in to your inner circle, into your, really well-defined audience and become real leads for you. So if you'd like to get your hands on this brand new freebie, then all you need to do is go to jessicaosborne.com/12 ways. So it's 12 ways. Very easy. You can download it there. And this is a little bit of great resource for your planning, for the planning of the new year. See what you're going to change up. What is it that you maybe haven't been doing that you could be doing? And what are those things that you've been doing and they're not very effective? And maybe you're going to drop them out of your plan this year. So please head over, grab the freebie. If you want the link, that it's in the show notes. And let's get you moving on up, having more success with your marketing in 2022.